Hello, hello! Happy Monday! So excited to be here and connect with all of you. I think we are on the 17th of May, just trucking right along as we get through this month. I'm going to wait for a few minutes to really get going. Hello, good morning. Good morning, afternoon. We just got here. It's all right. Let me adjust this a little bit so you can see me. All right, so how's everyone doing today? Great to see you and share this space with y'all. I don't have any specific thing to talk about. But it's more about just showing up and seeing what y'all want to put on the table, see if there's any questions. There are a couple things I want to share as I'm prepping for the group mentorship. There's some quotes that I'm pulling up for the group that's participating, and I want to share a couple of those with y'all just because they're so inspirational. We'll do, of course, pulling a card and clearing the space. But if there's anything that's you're noticing coming up in your life, and I'll mention this a few times throughout the call, that you just kind of want to ask for some perspective or space, whatever, I'm happy to go into that with you. Okay, so let's first begin by clearing, setting our intention. What do you want to receive out of this time together? Coming into your heart. Because this is the genius here. As we move into this, if y'all have heard of the new earth, this kind of higher frequency, higher bandwidth of experience in this world, this is going to be your primary processor. And so just coming back down into yourself, saying hello, there you go. And I just want to clear the space. As you're doing that, you can use a feather to clear, bathe, bless, purify, harmonize, and divinitize this space, this platform and communication line here. May it be in highest alignment, unconditional love. And also extending this into the space you're in, the energy fields of your bodies. Highest alignment, coming home, ease and grace. And just checking in as you grow roots out of your feet and your hands. You can imagine yourself in your favorite place on the earth. Dropping back down and into your body, the center of your head, down into your heart. And using the power of your creativity and imagination to begin to connect with nature. Nature is you, you are nature, but it is helpful to have the grounding force of a tree, of the ocean, of mountains, the dirt. And I think I talked about this last week, where we're all just extensions, so if the hand is earth, then we're the fingers, that kind of experience here. Yep, and so now we're just going to ask that the spine is looking for some activation updates between the vertebrae of the spine. And just syncing up what I'm hearing, your golden technology. And opening your heart wider. Opening it up, melting it open. We're in a safe space here so you can play. It's like, imagine the walls, have a nice cushion on them, and you can just bounce around. Really go big. What does that feel like? Releasing any stories, week, month, year, lifetime. So there's really just an effervescence of jubilance, innocence, childlike wonder. And this, sometimes it's hard to tap into this because the weight of the belief systems or storylines can be so heavy. It's like a heavy cloak that the ability to, jump around and be happy. What? That's not available for me right now. That's fine. So you just find the in-between, but beginning to one step at a time. Just lighten the load, take off one layer. Great. So be it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pull a card or two or three. Let's just see what Spirit has to say. Ask, set the intention here. What is in highest alignment for you? What message does Spirit have for you in this now for this day? May it be so. Got a couple coming. All right, and there's one more somewhere. Is that it? Or is that it? Okay, I got 5. All right, so we'll see if I'll read about them, but there is an order as usual. Okay, so we have Lumin Essence. Haven't picked this one up. Lumin Essence. Okay, Full Spectrum. Beyond the Mind. Ha, ha, I got one. So I started talking about the heart. Okay, I just want to get credit for that one, everybody. Aether, the Seamless Unspeakable. Oh, this is a great one. So there's a lot of magic that happens in that space. You know, this is like what we do like in session work, one-on-one sessions or in groups or whatever. When we gather for these energy medicine healings, we do the work in the ethers and then bring it in. It trickles in. It's like watering your plant from the subtle realms and bringing it into the roots of you, which is your physical experience, your emotional bodies, etc. So a lot of cool stuff can happen in the ether. Big changes. And I suspect, I feel like that's kind of what's happening here as well. I've had some very significant downloads, even in the past couple days, where I was like knocked out for quite some time. So, like meditating. And I think there's just quite a bit of our DNA technology and the technology of our bodies that are being rewired and made anew. And I know I talk about this all the time, but here we are. We're doing it again, and there's another layer to it. And so I repeat these things because, one, they're real time. This is what's going on and how I am authentically experiencing life. And secondly, because we're all on different kind of like at different points. And so what I say this week might actually resonate, whereas before it didn't, and vice versa. Okay, last one is the crystal keys. Okay, so let me do, this is a lot of like crystalline, water, air energy here. I think the full spectrum is about the only one that's kind of earthy and grounded. So let me read a couple of these let me read about a couple of these. And then also I just want you to be feeling into, is there anything you want to like verbalize, you want to put on the table, because and type it in, because when you do, that's for the group, and it's not just for the people who are here now, but like at a future time. So you're putting an offering on the table for all of us. So just see as I'm reading what comes up for you. And then I have a couple quotes that I want to share with you as well, because they're just great. They're just great. Okay, so first one, crystal keys, hidden wisdom codes, potent information, Lemurian seed crystals, seeing your triggers as a gift. So that's a good one. I think we're all kind of in a point of being triggered here. So refocusing when we get triggered, beginning to reframe that as an opportunity. And it's actually your gifts are birthing. Awareness of drama creating patterns. Okay, well, that goes hand in hand with the triggers. Healing the earth by looking at your inner environment, healing through awareness. So going inside and doing your work. Okay, I like that one. I love them all. That was a good one. Okay, Aether is the seamless unspeakable. So crystal keys were the 22nd card. The Aether is the 11th card, for those of you who like the numbers. 0 point field, the void, blank canvas, threshold, anything is possible. Yes, we are really in a time of this. Time to choose what you want to bring into your life. Hells yeah. Yes. The time has come. It has been waiting for you. Grab its hand. Say yes and start to effing run with it. Yes. Yes. Okay. Endless possibilities, limitlessness, and paradox. Okay? So this is why we have to be in our hearts to guide us, because the brain is gonna not be able, it doesn't have the technology, it doesn't have the skill set to be able to navigate what is coming in, what is being activated within us, what is being, the capacity to handle what is being released too. Because what's being released is not just this life, it's not just your brother's second cousin hurt your feelings when you were 5 years old. And oh my gosh, woo, I am feeling this now. Okay. I got a couple of heart palpitations here. This is about you releasing lifetimes of drama. This is in reconciling who you are in this moment. And it's not about picking through the trash, going through the history. It's about you choosing this now above all else and finding forgiveness, finding compassion, finding surrender within yourself to being made anew. Whatever this is big. Here comes healing. So we'll see. I got a couple more to go through. Okay, so Beyond the Mind is the 20th card. All right. And I'm excited to see how it kind of leads like us on a little path through these cards. Okay, so thinking with the heart, being present. I am so good. I'm so good with this. I'm just kidding. Thinking with the heart, being present, heart and mind connection, meditation, the bliss of being, quieting the monkey mind, fathoming the unfathomable. Because when you can fathom the unfathomable, when you can be with what's beyond just your conscious mind, that's a state of surrender, and that's a state of expansion and openness that will help you to transform and easefully and gracefully flow through the offerings that are coming through. Just another version of what I've been talking about. Finding happiness within, going beyond intellectual limitation. All right, so that's kind of a reset here, or repeat. Okay, full spectrum. It looks like I went through these backwards. So they presented it in the opposite order, but you're getting what you need. Okay, so full spectrum, creating heaven on earth by honoring the perfection of nature's cycles. Going beyond the judgment of good and bad, yeah. Merging of duality. This is where like the brain likes to live, the black and white. Merging of duality, raw nature, earth wisdom, connecting to the ancestors. Oh, and we did that this past weekend too in the group healing. Whoo, the ancestors. So myself and Melanie did this unique type of healing this week. Normally she walks us through the grounding, but this week she was silent and she was watching this deep kind of tribal ancestor ceremony happen within the earth, and I was up in kind of the 0 point field having this whole other type of ceremony. So the community that was joining in experienced, I spoke out the quantum field, the 0 point experience, but there was a whole other situation happening. And it was kind of bridging heaven and earth together, heaven and earth. So that was really cool, and that's happening more and more. Okay. Raw nature, earth wisdom, connecting to ancestors, shadows as a fertile soil for exponential growth. Yeah, they're your gifts. So you're seeing your triggers as your gifts. And the way forward is in the whisperings of the land, honoring the full spectrum of life. Yeah. And this is so important. I'm glad these cards are coming in the order that they are, because this is taking all this etheric offering and then bringing it through the center channel of your body, all the way through into the core of the earth, and helping you to ground and anchor in your being. Okay, anchor it all in your being so you're not like just floating out, in the stars. Okay, so last one, 35th card is Lumin Essence. Okay, almost there. Yeah, we got a healing coming in too. I can feel it. Are you ready? Okay, so Lumin Essence, self-love, the light that radiates from our hearts. Yes, and this is what heals. This is the medicine here. This is the medicine, everyone. I'm going to yell about it. I'm going to preach it from the mountaintops. This is the solution. All the other nitnoid stuff that we kind of try to break down and he said this, she said that, this is broken, that's, no, just come into your heart. Really, really, the frequency here, this is what is going to begin to create the new reality. Don't look, and I think I did a post about this, or a little story on it. Don't look at the problem, find the solution. The gal who was looking at the tsunami was worried about the tsunami coming at her. Get the hell out of there. Find a solution, find a path, move on. And I'm not saying run away from problems, but you got to look for the solution outside of the genesis of it, the center of it. Okay, so heart-centered living, light shining in the darkness, removing your heart armor, accepting your shadows as a flip side of your strengths. Again, we have another triggers being your gifts. A vulnerable, wide open heart, authentic, heartfelt needs. Okay, so good messages here. Lots of heart, and then we have the beautiful full spectrum grounding it all in. Take from this what resonates, release the rest. It's meant for you. If it's meant for you, it's gonna come back. Basically, this is seeding your subconscious. This is seeding your reality, your auric fields, the bubbles around you, the layers around you. It's seeding and putting new information on the filters of your chakras, your energy centers down the center of your body, or in your body, really. The receptors of life. So this is simply the offering. You take what you resonate with. Before we begin this healing, one, just put anything down that you want to verbalize and like put on the table, you want to type it out. Secondly, I want to read you a couple things. They're not super long. So my husband is a badass Marine. He retired a few years ago. But in their training, they had this book, and I'm going to talk about this in the mentorship tomorrow in the group. But it's a book meant for those going into leadership positions. They hand it to all the Marines coming in. And this is a book called A Message to Garcia by Albert Hubbard. And so I went through this book, and here are the couple quotes. Okay, so keep your mind on the great and splendid thing you would like to do. And then, as the days go gliding by, you will find yourself unconsciously seizing the opportunities that are required for the fulfillment of your desire. Just as the coral insect takes from the running tide the elements that it needs, picture in your mind the able, earnest, and useful person you desire to be. And the thought that you hold is hourly transforming you into that particular individual you so admire. So what I really love about this is the thought that you hold is on the hour transforming you into the particular individual you so desire to be. And it's not about being I wear this outfit, my hair's this way. That can be a component of it, sure. But it's about who are you accepting to be within yourself. If you were always the doormat growing up, decide to not be the doormat, find the new configuration for you. If you were always the aggressor, find a way to bring that into balance and be the harmonious leader versus the controller, let's say. It's using the power of your intention and then knowing with every breath that you are transforming yourself, your cells, the neurological communications going through your body from your brain are transforming your very essence with every moment of your day. It's so powerful if you break it down, and in meditation we can really connect into that power. But use the meditation and then take that magic. Our lives don't have to be meditation over here and then ho-hum life over here. No! It's a whole fucking spectrum that you live all the freaking time if you so choose. But we've learned to compartmentalize, and sometimes our nervous systems have to compartmentalize. But what I'm saying is we're going to break those boundaries and become the whole spectrum. Be that moving meditation with every breath you take. And so Eckhart Tolle talks about this. Ram Dass talks about all the teachers. You go into the Yoga Sutras, all the ancient texts. our moments, our breaths are so powerful, and our thoughts are so powerful. And so when we begin to work together with them along with our emotions, that's what we begin to, that is a magical elixir, especially with your heart. That's when you begin to transform your life. And so sometimes the nervous system needs a little time to catch up. The bodies and the cells need time to catch up. But this is what we're talking about in the group, the mentorship, and this is good stuff. And there's more to come. But take this, run with it, do with it what feels inspiring to you. Second quote: I desire to radiate health, cheerfulness, calm, courage, and goodwill. That is to say, I desire to be radiant, to radiate life. Bam. I'm going to drop the mic there. So, at the core, with all the things, we really want to radiate life. Because when we radiate life, that is our truth, our essence, unadulterated. You can feel that in your bones, like feel it in your heart. And the freedom to be able to radiate life with no one having a fucking say, like no one getting in your face or like telling you no. You can just radiate life with joy, purity, freedom, innocence. And it's here for you now. And there really truly is nothing separating you but this and the conditioning all packed in there. And we love it and say thank you because it has let you play this game so good. Like so good. You totally forgot who you were. And now you want to remember. And again, this is what I talk about so often, but I mean, it doesn't hurt, you know, to feel the good like juice from this, the good vibes, like we're not limited by the little box that we were put in and we agreed to be in. And so we're just gonna explode some boxes, expand the realities, expand who we are and how we be in this world and what we accept into our bodies, like that codes us. And there's a way, like in meditation and through these practices, you can begin to like slow it down and say, whoa, who are you coming in? I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna give you back to where you belong, like returning it back to the source of its origin. So if you've had a history of taking on other people's stuff, is what I'm saying. When you meditate, when you have physical practices, when you are focused, when you're breathing, that meditation in every moment of your life, you can then begin to see the other stuff coming in. And other isn't bad, but when we're playing this game in life, especially as we're getting stronger and building ourselves up, we have to delineate between who we are and the other stuff so you can then get a sense of yourself, and then, you know, in time you can become that big laughing Buddha and all the things, you know. But there are stages. There's stages. Because we're in this physical form, we do have limitations from a physical sense, and we work with them. They don't have to be limitations, but they're more just like levels that we have to like learn to navigate and kind of wind through and around. Okay. Box burning party. I love that joking. Yeah, no, that was great. That's great. Yeah, and so if you take that, you know, and you see like obstacles or difficulties or the old storylines coming up, and they are, oh shit, this thing is here, you know, oh, beep, 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 frustration. Have your moment, feel your feelings, and then say, hey, wait a minute, could this be the universe handed me a box of the old stuff that I carried around, like the box of the pictures with the old relationships and, you know, the little trinkets that you had, and said, hey, it's time to let this go. Because, hey, I see that you've matured on beyond some of these dynamics and you're ready. You're ready to take a look. You have your nervous system, your body, your mind, heart, spirit. You're just in a new place, and I think you're ready to let this stuff go. Maybe reminisce for a moment and then move on. So, okay. How's everyone doing? You ready to, yeah, because I certainly feel a healing. I'm going to have to put my feet on the ground. All right. So I'm just going to wipe all that off. And let's come into your heart. Letting all that information just flow through your systems. Be received through your grounding channel to the core of the earth to be updated. You're so powerful. Like if you were to step out and like look at yourself, you'd be like, holy hell, I didn't realize I had all this power, this ability, this knowledge, this wisdom, this expansiveness. And so that's kind of what I preach about on here is like, it's here, you know, and you'll have your moment. You'll have your moments of epiphanies and you'll realize. And until then, you just keep showing up and receiving the medicine that you need from spirit, from me, from those other people you connect with and follow. You're going to be led. Your heart will lead you. Your soul sure as heck is going to lead you to the right people, places, things that will support its ultimate expression, your growth, your highest evolutionary experience. Whew, so I got the tingles in the body and I feel a lot of like, so there's a lot percolating here. Coming into a circle here. And we're just going to invite the magnetic quality of Mother Earth to turn up a little bit. So you hear that hum and it goes, just gets a little louder, a little stronger, helping for you to feel stable, supported, and more expansive, because the deeper the roots, the taller the tree. Okay, good. And so we have a lot of brain recalibration, like right in here in the left hemisphere, going down the body, like kind of releasing. Oh, yeah. Okay. So this is from the brain, and then it's also for the heart as well. So I suspect we're working on that mind-heart connection here. Yep. And deep breath in and out. And all the stuff that you want to put it in the center of the circle in your mind's eye. You can put a bubble around it, and like a gold bubble, and put it in the center, whatever feels right for you. It's all here, and we're working in. I'm seeing these dimensions of experience here. It's vertical, and it's one dimension over another. So, yeah. Ka 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 ka. And so some of this is unwinding. I'm gonna say really just old curses. Feeling your feet, feeling your hands, growing those roots of light out of your hands, even down into the ground. You are so, okay, you're so strong. Like I just feel like your back opening up, almost like wings are opening up for you. So this is an unlocking of a technology in your body here. Like unlocking. This is a technical thing. But it really is center of your head, down the neck to the heart. And there's a lot of imagery with like tribal elders and tribal like communities that have been coming in for probably about 2 weeks in session work, and then groups. I mean, just all over. And again, we have more of that imagery here now. I characterized it. It feels like prime force essence. All right. A lot of just excess moving out. If you're feeling any of this, use your breath to help it move. I think this will be good. I've talked about this in groups in the trainings here before, and we'll do it tomorrow as well. But breath of fire, where you breathe, moving it out. Okay, so what's Prime Force Essence mean? Okay, so Prime Force, this is my terminology here. This is how I see it. So it's linked with the prime essence of nature. And the way I'm seeing it is like these tribal cultures, like Amazonian, Aztec, Mayan cultures, that really are like, they have an unadulterated relationship with the essence of earth, with nature, with the animals, with the wind, with the sky. All of it is one big breath of their experience. They don't have they're forgetting, the veil of forgetting is a lot thinner, and so there's just a much more, so tap into that for yourself. But what I see it as Prime Force is like the basic template of spirit, the sound of spirit coming in that forms our creation. So it's unadulterated nature, to put it very simply. And that is helping us to connect with the core of our essence. Pure original energy, very cool. Yeah, that's how I see it. Feel it, find it for yourself, but I'm just walking y'all through. Okay, a lot of like third eye kind of releasing. Yeah, of course. And now you're finding your new calibration now. So you're releasing, and then like your seventh chakra antenna is like whoop, and it's finding its new calibration. Okay. So if you have any dizziness going on, just ride the wave. Now we're releasing, so this is part of like the spiritual, what one of my trainings defined as the spiritual incarnation system. So it's going to go down the neck, out the shoulders, through the hands. That's one of the main components of it. And so we're releasing, this houses part of your spirit essence coming into your body and its storyline. And so this is changing. And so your DNA, everything is going to change from here, but this is a component of it. So a lot of kind of nervous systems to the heart and the nervous system, the brain. Shifting here. It's almost like y'all are, you know, when you see something dissolve, like in a movie, and the little particles start to float off, there's a way like your parts of you are dissolving. And you can just be, what I'm hearing, born anew. There's some things you just don't need to go through the story on. Like you've met the criteria, the requirements for that workbook, that lesson. And so there's a moving. And there's someone stepping forward too. I'm just watching this. Bringing something kind of heavy for them. Something big. This is someone like joining in the group, I think, a future time here. And it's like, oh, this is going to be too big to handle. No, well, we're working with spirit and infinite creation. So peeling the layers, yes. Yes. Yes, this is very much peeling the layers. It's a great way of different way of saying. A lot of like recalibration. I got a lot of heart palpitations here. And so as a group here, this is a power of the group. We're expanding and we're embracing this soul that's coming forward, that is, I think, going to be joining at a future time, and with such a big like burden, what feels insurmountable. We're going to expand and strengthen our bond and welcome them in. You are welcome here. and putting that in the center of the circle, because we're going to call in the wisdom of creation here, highest alignment. There's a lot of grief and sorrow for them. But as a group, we almost like hold our hands just a little bit more firmly, like we clasp each other's hands. We can do this. We can do this. We can do this. We don't need to wait for any type of savior. You are what you've been waiting for. And we come together just to magnify, to build on our strengths and our gifts, to help us through when we're triggered and feeling the depths of our shadow, like this soul stepping forward. And we say, we've got you. We're here with you. You're going to go through your journey, but we're here with you. You are not alone. Yep, and then there's some more. And there's sharing happening now in this circle of like memory and relating. And, you know, every time someone brings something big to the table, we learn from it. And we empathize, or we have like, we relate to it. And we also say, oh yeah, that within me, that can be healed as well. Well, look, because they're doing it, I can do it too. Hey, great idea. Or, you know, you learn from what they went through and say, okay, I'm ready to move through that cycle, that pattern, what have you. And so I'm just watching the electrical charges between the cells. There's like little zips happening between the cells. And it's like, oh, hey, did you hear what happened? There's new info coming in. So this is just like a microscopic phone tree happening in your body. And there's like, we're almost flushing out the nervous system, almost like it's dripping and releasing. Whew. And just releasing off the right, releasing off the right, releasing off the right. If you need to, you can take your hand. This resonates for you. Okay, little movement here to get it out. If your feet are on the ground, rub your feet on the ground. I want you to really build this connection up. A little movement here. Move that spine. Breath in and out. Gently roll the neck side to side and around. Okay. I'm gonna twist. Okay, we're rooting down at the tailbone now, anchoring this in. Rooting down at the tailbone, bringing this update all the way down like an orb at your tailbone, down into the earth. Asking to connect in with your prime essence for your mind, your heart, your body, and your spirit to remember. Remember, remember, remember. Yeah. And spiraling down, release, release, release. It's spiraling to the right. Down, releasing. Great. And so the ask now is to start to step back. you take this, continue your process. Continue to anchor in. Find some movement, drink some water, get in the sun, get yourself grounded, take ownership of the next steps of this process. So we've done the big movement, but now you have to listen to your intuitive wisdom of the body and your body gut and your spirit here to be guided. How do you move forward with this? It's going to be different for each of you. And it might mean getting one-on-one support, re-listening to a healing, finding a meditation. But please do not underestimate the power of this type of work. Nowadays, it might feel like, oh, nothing happened, especially like this past group healing. It would be easy to kind of like dismiss it. But I tell you, this is the stuff it's going so small, but it's going to have these exponential shifts in you. Really honor that. Because if you don't, there'll be a lag. There'll be the continuation of those patterns that you're attempting to move away from, to move through, to heal, to transform. And the feeling of stuck will just get more pronounced, and nobody wants that, especially once you've had like a taste of the expansiveness of the freedom of who you are. That is the motivating force to keep you going, through the highs and lows and ups and downs. Okay, so let's just step back from this group. And I'm watching like it's like a clear opalescent light. Has a little bit of a purple tint to it, actually. Coming in to fill like through and around you. Yeah. From above to below. Yeah, and you're receiving a gift or a symbol for you from your higher self. Your highest, like, I am team. So be it. Okay, there we go. Now, come back into your body. Listen to the sounds around you. Feel your body on the surface beneath you. Feel your breath rising and falling out of your chest. Yeah. Take some movement. Okay, how are y'all doing? Any questions for me? Anything you want to share? Okay. So as you're doing that, get some water if you have it. And I'm going to talk about, I mentioned a lot about the group mentorship just because I'm so excited about it. Let's see. Okay, that was excellent. We'll definitely be rewatching. Great. Yeah, revisit and see what comes up the next time. See what space you create that allows you to receive even more. Every time, it's something new, it's alive, it's always there for you. I guarantee you go back 6 months to something, a healing that we walked through. It's in the quantum field, it's in the 0 point, and there you are always evolving. So you go back to something from 6 months ago, you're gonna get like 6 new things. I've done that before, and I'm like, I didn't even know the person said that. I wasn't able to receive it at that time. Okay, good. So I've talked a lot about the mentorship, and so the mentorship is the thing where as a group, we go deeper and we build on the tools. And what I'm thinking about doing with this is we have these entry points throughout the year. And so there'll maybe be 3 or 4 entry points. And then from there, you'll have the option of continue. So it's a month-long mentorship, and you have the option of continuing the support with the group, and we can add on as we go along. It's going to be good stuff. And I'll continue to share what we discuss and the gains that are being made with the discoveries. But there's a lot of value in joining with this community because, again, like I read about radiating life and radiating your light. Like that's the essence of what we're doing. And it's going to become and is becoming much more important that we do that. It might have seemed like just this irrelevant component of life, especially the past several thousand years. But now it's becoming this absolutely necessary thing for a certain set of souls who've come to this world to embody and to be and radiate that light. Like if you're on the healing journey, if you've had that awakening process, it's absolutely necessary for you to begin to run this confidently, run your light confidently, clearly, and begin to emanate it out into the world, because the world really, really does need your essence, your imprint, your strength, your energy signature to be able to carry forward with certain maybe higher frequency storylines or bandwidths. So you are a very important necessary component, and life is going to support you. It's a lot easier now than it was 5 years ago, even a few years ago. It might not feel like that, but I promise you, you are very much supported in your awakening process now. Okay, a couple other things. We have the group healings every Saturday, me and Mel. Really great for having that community, trying out the energy healing work, and getting a sense of like what you can pull out of energy medicine in general. And then lastly, I have the one-on-one sessions, and those are where we go deep into you, your story, into your cells, into your nervous system, into who you are, and work with what's ready to transform. But the work, the one-on-one and the groups really are beautiful complements for one another, because the leaps we make in the group aren't necessarily able to be made in individual sessions, because with the group we can just, the power there is really magnified. But then the one-on-one, you can really go deep. So just options, they're a great thing to have. Oh, and one more offering, because I also am doing the work with the young light leaders out there. I've been working with the kids and young adults, and so just keep in mind I have that offering available as well for anyone who's kind of challenged, and I've extended that the offering to those up to 25 years old, because people are trying to get their feet in the ground. The young adults are getting their feet in the ground, and I want to support y'all on that. Okay, so any questions? Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing this space and this so much heart stuff today, y'all. And your nervous systems are going to be rewiring. So if you have any heart palpitations, any dizziness, listen to your body and know your own patterns. But I wouldn't be surprised if there wasn't a little bit of like kind of weirdness with that as your systems are recalibrating. For that, I would recommend mineral drops. That will be a good way, or electrolytes, to help rebalance that the electrolyte balance in your system. I think it's like sodium and potassium, and there's another one, but I can't remember. Anyway, all right, thank you so much for being here. So much love. I look forward to connecting with y'all next week. Big love.